What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Struggle Zone, man. Check this out. I was just thinking, and after I had a discourse against with the brother Blue Pill on Instagram, right? And during this back and forth me and the dude had, I realized something. I realized that if we have some of us who have large followings, right? Who who present themselves to the people as if they're for the people, but they don't understand the basic structure and things that we need to do in order for us to establish some level of power within our group. If we have people like that who don't understand these things, then we have a lot of work ahead of us. You know what I'm saying? We have an awful lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't complaining about it. I'm up for the challenge. But my point is, I said all that to say this. I'm speaking about Blue Pill and others. He's not the only one. But brothers and some sisters who talk about black on black crime, right? And I tell them, say, look. And I tell the brother, say, look, man, check this out. We have to stop being so quick to use white supremacists or mainstream media's talking points against our own people. I'm not saying we don't have issues in our communities, but us coming out telling the world all the negative stuff that's going on in our community is not helping us, it's hurting us. We sit here and we talk about how the mainstream media demonizes us every way it can, all type of negative propaganda on our people, right? And then once we have some of us get a platform, we start regurgitating the same old information that the mainstream media is doing. So I had to ask the question: damn, isn't it a serious issue if some of us don't understand how detrimental that is to our people? The brother responded and he was saying, we need to have accountability. First off, if one of our people kills somebody out of our group, right? How does that reflect all of us? That doesn't reflect all of us. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you in a relationship with a woman, right, and she has a horrible relationship with a previous dude, does that reflect you? You know what I'm saying? Maybe the dude was going whooping or jumping on or whatever, and she takes that mentality into another relationship, and now y'all relationship is rocky. How does that reflect every other brother? You know what I'm saying? So we gotta stop taking the small percentages of our communities do some nonsense and use that as a generalization for all of us. Because when we do that, we're doing the exact same thing that these Europeans is doing. You dig what I'm saying? The exact same thing. And he didn't understand, and Blue Pill don't understand that. I'm not saying he don't. I think he do understand. I'm gonna say he do understand it because he seems to be a smart dude. But what happens is, what I've noticed, a lot of guys that come out of the conscious community, in the beginning, in the early stage, if you watch them early on, they'll be saying one thing. But once they start making money and they start regenerating income, all of their attitudes changes. Now it's been talking about, what about black on black crimes? What about this? Look, we have issues in our communities, but we cannot come out publicly and start throwing our own people up under the bus for it. If you want to change those conditions, then you get behind the scenes to do it. See, people talk about these Europeans, right? These Caucasians, but you got to give them some credit because as much nonsense that they have going on amongst their people within their own group, you never ever hear them come out talking about what about white on white crime. You know, when one of them are killed by somebody else, you never ever hear it. And 85% of the crimes committed against Caucasians is done by other Caucasians. But they never come out into public and say, what about Caucasian on white on white crimes? You don't hear the Asians saying what about Asian on Asian crimes? The majority of crimes committed against Asians is by other Asians. The same way with the Hispanic community. The majority of crimes committed against them is done by their own people. And we're no different. But some of us are the only ones, some of us feel the need to come out and talk about what about black on black crimes. We need to change. In order for us to change the narrative, we have to stop using white supremacist talking points. For instance, they always talk about Chicago, but when you do the research, Chicago is not even the most dangerous city in the U.S. It's not even the most dangerous city in the U.S. I don't think it's in the top 10 or the top 20 most dangerous cities in the U.S. But but in the mainstream media, they keep repeating it over and over and over and over again. And then you have these brothers, some of these brothers who claim to have so much knowledge and so much information, talk about how the Europeans use propaganda on us, but then they turn around and fall right into the same propagandist mindset. You dig what I'm saying? So the brother got bent out of shape. He caught a little attitude, but I don't care. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? We have to start calling people out. If I do something that's going to cast my people in a negative light or dishonors my people in any type of way, I need to be called out for it. You know what I'm saying? I need to be called out for it. That's just what it is. We got to start calling these dudes out. They got to know that this shit ain't acceptable. So I'm working on something right now that's going to establish something within our people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really talking about it until I finish it. When I do this first draft, I plan on sending it out to a few individuals to get their input put on it so they can add something to it. You know what I'm saying? Something that I'm not seeing, they may be able to add to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm working on. But I'm not going to keep y'all long. I just want to say, man, look, we have to stop regurgitating everything we hear the mainstream media say. Because when we sit here and talk about black on black crimes, when these situations is not exclusive to us, and every group is doing the same shit, we got to stop that, man. If we feel like something is an issue within our community, then we get behind the scenes and we deal with it. And we find out how can we organize, what can we do to stop it. You know what I'm saying? That's how we take accountability. But when you come out publicly and you talking about black on black crimes and how screwed up you think black people are, you're not talking to black people. You're talking to white folks. That's who y'all talking to. You talking to Asians, Hispanic. Y'all talking to the world and letting the world know how fucked up you feel your own people are. You dig what I'm saying? So we have to stop that, man. We can't allow nobody to do that. People get bent out of shape because I call them out on it. Brother Ben got bent out of shape because I called him out on it. Blue Pill get bent out of shape because I called him out on it. Red Pill then called an attitude because I called him out on some stuff he done. Look, we have to start calling people out. It ain't about your emotions. It ain't about your ego. It ain't about what you feel. It's about what's best for the growth and development of our people. In order for us to get out of this situation, we have to do something different. We have to start calling Negroes out when they out of pocket, especially if they have a large platform. You think when you got people listening to you. So now you're influencing our people with that same mindset. And these people need to be removed from amongst us. Period. Peace out, man. I'm holler at y'all later, man. Welcome to the struggle zone, man.